Hello everyone and welcome to a I guess just chatting reaction stream. There's a popped up on my feed um where like I was thinking about maybe submitting it for POs, and then I thought, well, actually I have some pretty interesting streaming takes. So I kind of want to go through this video here, and I'll
So
do the pause whenever I need to and such. But essentially, they did I mean, James will explain it. They'll be reacting, like playing through their 2019 bid, reacting in 2026. And then um, I'm also gonna put in a bunch of takes as well. So we'll get to most of the stuff will probably come up naturally, and then I might pause for some tangents. We'll see how it goes. Let's just jump on in.
why not just do an all-in-one streaming service? Why do I have to subscribe to Hulu and Disney Plus?
Because it's Disney Plus. You gotta have Disney Plus Amazon
Yeah.
So this
Plus
is the
Hulu
2019.
Plus everything.
Yeah, of course. And Apple TV Plus as well.
Also, is my mouse showing on here? Let me check. Capture cursor. Okay, let me disable capture.
So I think it was back in 2019 when Scott, Justin, and I were talking about the rise of streaming media and our complaints about it.
Right. I mean, do you consider the fact that was 7 years ago? That's crazy.
I kind of consider our original video a time capsule at this point, especially since streaming really exploded during COVID.
Yes, a lot has happened since our video. During COVID, I was very much seduced by the convenience of streaming, but I still have my physical media.
Seduced. I, even in 2019, I was not seduced by physical media. At that point, I had already had a hard drive with a bunch of interesting rips of shit I wanted from. Basically, I never actually torrented myself. Um, I've if I downloaded, it's been like straight MP4s. This was mainly a stash that the university engineering society had. I just copied a bunch of stuff from. Also, let me do this real quick, just in case it refreshes and fucks up some stuff. Let me just redo this real quick. Yeah, I essentially had all the digital copies I needed. I didn't have really anything physical because I'm moving a bunch. So 2019 is actually the year I bought the Xbox One all digital, which is and the Xbox One sad, as everyone means.
So why not just do an
Also, why is
all-in-one
it doing
streaming
4K
service? Why do I have
here?
to subscribe to Hulu and
That's
Disney
fine.
Plus?
Because it's
So like 2019.
That's crazy.
Oh, whoops.
I kind of consider our original video a time capsule at this point.
Like 2019, I already didn't have any. Like I at that point for games, I wasn't into. 2019 is when I kind of started getting back into gaming, so I made the conscious decision for like Xbox of like, yeah, I'll just keep going with digital because 360 was kind of a mix of digital and physical. Mainly, I got into digital a lot because back in also hey Rasta man, back in 2011, um, Real Canadian Superstore did a fun deal of, hey, all these Xbox codes were like they had point cards because they couldn't use money. Ooh. Um, they had like a literal half off sale of these cards. And so it sold out immediately there by price match at Walmart and just stocked up on a bunch. And I'll say that was the gateway for me for digital. It's just like, well, it's half off of everything. And there's already digital sales at this point because 2010 is when I got my Xbox 360. So 2011 is like, okay, yeah, I've kind of figured out what's available digitally. And so it was still like I got some physical, some digital at that point. About the tail end of my 360 experience, they did games with gold, and so yeah. Um, so let's say with 3DS, also forced my hand a bit with digital because some games they just didn't release in North America physical. Like it was digital only for some, which was very strange. Like EU, you could get it, but it's region locked, and like that's the state around like 2013 when I stopped gaming for a bit, and then I'd say that the 2012 to 2015 for like movies and stuff, I my dad always bought physical and like he would show me films, so that's how I consumed films. Um 2015 then I had way too many things to worry about to freaking go through there. And then 2016 university. Like I was at a point where like I barely like scraping by to get through YouTube videos. I'm not like really worrying about movies. Like sometimes it took me like 3 days to watch a 45-minute YouTube video just because I did not have time or I was doing other stuff during university. Um, then during co-ops, I'm like, okay, let's just take a weekend to binge a YouTube playlist. That's another issue. Yeah, so 2019, I already was like pretty firm into the digital goods. Um, but I have more to say on that, but I paused this for like 5 minutes at this point.
Especially since streaming really exploded during COVID.
Yes, a lot has happened since our video. During COVID, I was very much seduced by the convenience of streaming, but I still have my physical media. There's pros and cons of each.
Though the industry was, and still is, really bloated. Kind of like I was back in 2019 when we filmed. I've lost about 50 pounds since then. Figured I'd make a comment about that since everyone's going to bring it up because it's YouTube.
So anyway, this conversation we had sort of went away into the Cinemassacre vault. No one has ever seen this footage before, and now that all this time has passed, we're going to reflect and see if our opinions still hold up.
So nothing really changed since then. We all kind of foresaw the collapse and the consolidation we're seeing now.
So let me
My
check
complaint
something
about
real
DVDs
quick.
and especially Blu-rays was
Because that might have not shown on stream. I forget if I have 3 minutes. No, I have 3 minutes. That's why. Okay. Cool.
all the unskippable ads before the movie, which reminds me, here's a word from this video sponsor.
I also want to point out the irony of we're complaining like, oh, I'm trying to turn on a DVD and there's so many ads. You go to the movie theater, there's so many ads, but we get paid primarily from ads on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Maybe poor taste. I have sponsor block on, but I don't know. I've definitely gotten sick of YouTube ads and stuff at this point. I still have ads on like every other website, but for YouTube specifically, like they've started doing the TV spacing of ads on desktop. I'm not sure how much Rasterman or anyone else watching. When I say TV spacing of ads of like every 2 minutes, there's like a skippable ad that pops up. Oh, interesting. I never. I've only done light Tetrio, so I didn't. Maybe haven't seen that, but okay.
Out there.
Yeah, like not to be a
All right. So the I'd say over the last 12 months, I've actually started using extensions on YouTube to like, as well as my phone, to just filter out ads. So yeah, it's at this point I'm like, probably everyone around me is like, you didn't do that sooner. It's like, yeah, I wasn't actually like, 15 seconds before a video. That's fine, honestly. It's 30. Not the end of the world. But 15 seconds every 2 minutes. Yeah, no. I'm like trying to like do shit, like maybe wash dishes, and can't really go ahead and skip those ads that easily. But yeah, I have on my phone and on here now all of that blockage.
Hypocrite, you know, but we were looking at a DVD on the TV there, and we were trying to get it started. We just wanted to get to the menu screen, and we were just trying to get through all these ads and trailers and stuff that you can't skip.
On the client,
and I made a comment
at
that
least
that to me
it can
is a
hide
big
the
part
whole
of the death of
piece.
physical media.
Oh wow!
And I am in a room that is a shrine of physical media saying this. Recently, I got a 4K player, and I do have to say, from what I've seen, there are much less ads, if any, but they still don't have the abundance of bonus features that DVD had. But there's a lot more to say about streaming.
Streaming services have become so overly complicated now, where they all have like all these different pieces of content. They're all different prices. They're owned by different companies. They all have different user interfaces. So it's just like when you go from Netflix.
Sorry, I don't mind them having different user interfaces. The thing that fucking annoys me is like when you have the services hidden within services, like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime, but it's part of like Star Plus or like whatever fucking shit. It's like, can you just like advertise Star Plus separately then? Can I just do a Star Plus ad, like app or so? Like, why is this even here? It's not on Amazon Prime. If it's on Amazon Prime, I could just press play on it.
Netflix to Hulu to Amazon Prime, it's always different. But
these are the dark ages.
It's ridiculous. And some things just like pop up and then they leave like only a month later.
God, watch lists. They give me like, I actually have like anxiety over my watch list. Like, wait, was that on my Amazon watch list or on my Hulu watch?
Also, another thing is that I don't usually view movies on these services. At this point, it's like the original programming that I care about. So those ones tend to be more static. But yeah, I agree that for people who just want to like, oh yeah, like actually use the watch list feature, the watch list feature is basically useless on those services.
Watch list. Do you think it's gotten any better since?
I don't know. Like it's all over the place. All these companies got so full of themselves. They're just like, oh, we can make our own streaming service. We have awesome content that everybody wants.
My main takeaway back then was that streaming had become an overpriced, fragmented mess driven by IP hoarding, forcing people to juggle subscriptions and pay monthly for content they barely use.
Also, have you seen this, like, I'll pull up another tab real quick, but this just looks so, like, the mega package of all mega patches, mega packages. Like there's articles like these to just fucking differentiate it, or like, oh look at this, they have fucking. Let me double check that this is working good. Okay. Like, oh man, from as low as $55 a month for all of this. It's just making a satellite service, and like, yeah, this is just kind of trying to be like a package of these different services. Like, here's ESPN stuff. Here's like the Disney, or well, I mean, Cartoon Network's not Disney, but yeah, and then all the other ones that are like this. So you have to freaking, if you just want to like actually watch a bunch of, if you just want it like the good old days, just a satellite box, but you don't your TV doesn't have like antenna or whatever anymore, because yeah, you might just want the satellite on your phone, which is perfectly fair. That's just a whole fuckery of fuckery to do. So if you want the chart, a Philo, Sling Orange, Sling Blue, Fubo, YouTube TV, DirecTV, Hulu with Live TV. Yeah, I do feel bad for people who view content in a traditional way, because they are fucked. They are. I am not traditional in this, but traditional people are fucked. Jeez. Also, Vista shared this meme today, which I think was pretty apt. Have you seen the new show? It's on Tubu. It's literally on Heapy. It's on Pody with ads. It's literally on Dippy. You can probably find out We Know. Dude, it's on Gumpy. It's a Feeble original. It's on Poop. You can watch it on Poop. You can go to Poop and watch it. Log on to Poop right now. Go to Poop. Dive into Poop. You can poop it. It's on Poop. Poop has it for you. Poop has it for you. Yeah.
And they don't really own.
If you're looking for a particular movie or show, I still don't know of a perfect, convenient way to search across all streaming services to see which one it's on. The best that I know of, there's a site called justwatch.com. So
Yeah, that's the site that I sometimes use for Canada, because Canada's also a whole nother bag. I assume it's like that in Argentina, when it's like, oh, sometimes the rights just don't exist, right? Right? That's why like all the VPN services got so popular. Part of the reason, you know, and it's like, oops, no film. Which again, if you're just watching the original content, it's not a big deal. But if you're like waiting for the, hey, this movie's in theaters and now I want it, and on streaming, uh, or older content, then yeah, or content sometimes licenses, just like in this country's on this service, and this country's on this service, and this country's on this service, but or certain seasons, but these seasons are in this, but these seasons are in this. And it's like apparently in Britain, MLP, like Friendship is Magic, like they only have up to like season 4 on, was it Netflix that then was doing it, then the other 5 are on something else. I think in Canada it's like seasons 1 to 8 are on Netflix, then 9's on Hulu or something. Which was relevant for me because I was using the French translation and Netflix had the French dub, but Hulu didn't. Just a lot of little things like that.
if you're looking for any particular movie, it'll tell you how many streaming services it's on, if you have to rent it, or if
Yeah,
it's free.
yeah. Obviously, everyone fucking pirates. Again, there's and also an interesting thing that I figured out is that there's like a bunch of different ones for it, but because most of the stuff I'm interested in is just animation, the sites that specifically target anime or animation are like, yeah, I guess this is like basically everything I need. I don't have to go to the ones that like kind of get taken down more often. Usually the animation ones are like more stable. It's like, oh, cool. That works for me. And the animation ones, usually I can find it on Crunchyroll or Funimation, but again, sometimes rights, like one thing is Tuca and Birdie, like on Netflix, just season 1 is in Canada and the US, season 2 and 3 is on US Netflix and just doesn't exist here. Oops. Also another one with animation ones is usually they'll be cool with like letting you just watch at 360p without logging in. So it's like, okay, I'm cool with that. As opposed to like, sometimes they like try to make a profit, and some of them are like, hey, log like create a thing to get the highest quality like it's some of them do that, which is annoying. I know like a lot of the yeah, the same. I don't. Um and some of the ones that are just more general like also don't require a login, but like some do. Because they try to make some sort of profit. Like I don't know.
'Cause otherwise, what are you going to do? Go to like every service and try to find the same movie?
and you have to
and
subscribe
then-
to each and every one of them. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's getting back to like how cable.
Also, the trick is just use their trials if you just want to watch one thing, and then use a fake email account every time. iCloud's really good for that because iCloud just has the hide your email, and it's just like, who's gonna deny an iCloud.com email address?
Operated,
Mhm.
where it's just like you have to own all these cable packages, where you have
Yeah,
to like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, I want this channel and
Yeah.
this channel and this channel,
Yeah,
and you
'cause
have to
Uh-huh.
get all this stuff that you don't want. You might want like Netflix for one show,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, you have to pay like $10 a month
look
for
at,
one show you won't.
And those prices probably have gone way up in the past 7 years.
Yeah, dude, talking about $10 a month now. uh, yeah.
Right.
In the past years, we've seen cable TV decline as many of these TV networks would start their own streaming services and sometimes even put exclusive stuff on it that wasn't on cable. I remember when CBS All Access came out, they had the new Twilight Zone on there, which I really love, the Jordan Peele Twilight Zone. That was great. But they also did that with some of their new Star Trek shows, I think.
Oh yeah, Star Trek Discovery sucks so much ass because I love Star Trek, and when Star Trek Discovery came out, I was like, oh, I'll get the subscription because I want to watch the new show because I was a big Trekkie.
Oh yeah, that was also annoying. With the sometimes if you want to watch all the content of one show, not even by season, but like by type of contract. I think South Park's probably the most infamous for this, where the was it Comedy Central owns the uh TV episodes, but Paramount owns the specials in the back catalog. Like they riff on this in the show. Like they're that duo was fucking pissed. um but yeah, I guess Paramount is supposed to I guess since 2019, I think Paramount did a better job of just getting all the Star Trek licenses from what I remember.
Or whatever. I'm also a maniac who prefers the DVD Trek over the Blu-ray restorations, let alone new
Wait, why is the DVD one better than the Blu-ray?
Trek, which went out of its way to restorations, let alone new Trek, which went out of its way to kind of kill what Star Trek meant to me.
Why couldn't the same programs be on both? Like, so if you don't have cable, because a lot of people do away with cable altogether.
Honestly, outside of my parents growing up, I don't think I ever had cable.
It took me a while, but since then I've canceled cable.
Obviously, I used to have cable, but these days, I think if I have to watch TV, I just subscribe to like YouTube TV for that month, or if I really need to.
Okay, at least Scott manages like I'll just do the month and then stop the next month instead of just keeping it going. Sometimes it's harder when you're in like say a household. Like for example, you have a partner and your partner might watch a thing, but you aren't. So it's like, well, I don't need this month, but like, I should keep it just in case like they want it. That's kind of the situation I'm in with Game Pass right now, where like I personally don't need it, but one, I can afford it, and two, like I share with Yoxis, and like he uses it multiple times a week, so like yeah, that makes sense. I still dabble with like literally right before the trip, I'm like, yeah, let's just do like 30 hours of fucking Death Stranding on Xbox. I have it on Epic, but like, I'm on the Xbox right now. Let's just do that. Um, I still get it, but it I definitely would be more selective of like, okay, let me just start this month now for Death Stranding and then end it after that month or whatever. Um, though to be fair, these ones, the gaming ones, do have a lot more of the tricks. Like, for example, for Xbox, the gold conversion trick. So I paid like 33% of the price. I paid like $5 a month for Game Pass Ultimate for the last 6 years, and now the trick also involves EA Play. So instead of paying $30 a month, it'll be 13, which is like still reasonable. But also that's technically an over like a 2 times increase compared to my previous price. But because the monthly rate is way cheaper doing it that way, it doesn't make as much sense to like do that trick every month and then this and then that. Like it's kind of like an all or nothing for that. Same thing with the PlayStation Plus where I get it like half off because of the PS Now thing. Like if I cancel it, then I no longer can get the discounted rate and get some of the sale rates, but that's less on, oh, this game came out, let me play it now. Or let me bank a couple games to play once a new game I really want comes out, and then I can also play those couple of games that like that's kind of like what I do for shows. Where like, okay, Severance is coming out, let me go ahead and do the Severance, but also hey, let's catch up on Morning Show and Silo and Shrinking and etc. etc.
Even then, that's expensive.
It seems as if they're moving away from traditional cable TV and just doing all subscription streaming stuff because once you do that,
you only have to pay for CBS and stuff like that. With cable, it comes a part of it like a package. It's crazy.
How many of these do you want to do? Because you got Netflix, you got Amazon, you got Hulu, you got you just go down the list.
Yeah, Fox, NBC, or
Disney
ABC,
Plus,
Disney Plus,
Apple TV Plus. They're all like all these companies think their shit doesn't stink enough to like make their own content. I mean, make their own subscription service for their content. And I feel like one thing I read an article that said, I don't know if this is true or not, but well, I mean, I know this part is true. Like, The Office is going to be on Netflix for another like few years. But because they have a contract, and like there's so many people who only have Netflix for that show. So like when that comes up, when that contract ends,
that was a close call. That was they almost didn't. Yeah, I mean, because like no, it's Arrested Development. They help produce stuff. That's a weird area.
It might be very likely that NBC takes The Office off and puts it on their own.
Oh yeah, sorry. NBC did do that, I think, but then Arrested Development was the one that like, oh, they might not do this.
On streaming service.
They may not keep the rights, even though they literally made it. They may not renew stuff, and like Netflix does that all the time, where stuff that they produce that isn't popular, they'll just sack it from their service.
Scott, I think you were right about that one. Since then, NBC launched Peacock, and The Office is on there.
Yeah.
Your show got way.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. He brought that up in 2019, like legitimately. Point for Scott. Point for Scott.
Popular after it ended because it was on Netflix. Because so many people had Netflix and they rediscovered it through there. And now what? They're gonna have to subscribe to a completely different subscription service. So they're gonna have to know going in. They're gonna be like, all right, I want to watch this. I want to get into it. I just don't think this is really.
Yeah, I guess that's another good point. It's like I'm an informed consumer. If you're not an informed consumer and you're like, I just want to like what's it's like having a game console. It's like, oh, what my friend's gaming on, and then you're like playing this, and you're like, oh, this game, I want to play this game. Oh, it's not on this console. Um, it's like some people with streaming services might go in with like, oh, this is the streaming service, because like whoever has it, and then they have to deal with that friction of like, but this isn't on this one.
Like great competition. It's literally just like I'm not gonna have Netflix and then it's just like, oh, I'm gonna cancel my Netflix and subscribe to Hulu instead. It's probably more so I'm gonna get both.
If there was a service, like let's say it was on YouTube Premium or whatever it was, and if it was like, okay, guys, this is $50 to $100 a month, but everything is on here, and you can just go for it, I'd be like, here's the money,
like a
thank
cable
you.
provider,
Yeah.
where it's like, here's a package.
Yeah.
Here's a package where you could have all these, or you could have like a premium package.
Another thing, and this is definitely a me thing, is that definitely because of just the breadth of content I consume, it is hard to justify even something I know I'm gonna like to like buy it outright. Like even for these, like it took me like a year to work up of like, okay, here are like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Let me actually like buy a digital copy of them so I can like watch them whenever. I like because some of them I already had on like rips of, and some are pretty new. So I like Barbie's a good example where like I've seen that like 5 times in theaters over the course of like, okay, here's a couple times when it came out and a couple times during Oscar reruns. Oh yeah, I don't have to do Elastic anymore. I have an actual. When I was in Sweden, I just went to like a freaking. It's called like Flying House Copenhagen or whatever. I got like, I got a fitness band I could get wherever. Also got a sick ass potato peeler. Also this frog I got. This was from ESA. This was like a donation thing. We were the runner Lozzie. A lot of runners at ESA were just staff members who had to sub in because everyone got sick. So she had already like knitted a bunch of stuff, and so they decided to like sell off some of the stuff during during their run. And during the run of fucking Disney magical space whatever, um every time that you got transformed into a frog, that was like it's a Mario Kart basically. It's like a power up to like stop you. Everyone would scream frog. You would hold up frog signs, and then so when these came out, I'm like, yeah, I'll donate for the frog, and then so I held up the frog in lieu of the frog sign during the run. I have a cute little frog. Yay. But no, this is the elastic band of like, hey, my thumb is still like at 98% capacity. I should like go and flex this. So if we do this, it gets some resistance if I flex it like this. You can see here. Oh, that color does not pick up on camera at all. It really looks like this, and then I'm meant to like expand a bit. Yeah. Anyways, back to stuff.
It adds these channels. Well, that is definitely a big.
Oh right, to finish the thing, I finally like last month bought like 10 favorite movies on YouTube. Just so I can like, it just conveniently have it like, oh, let me just watch on my Switch. Oh, let me just download it for the plane real quick. Oh, let me just it's just having them wherever, because I know I want to watch these movies more. And if I just don't have the convenience, I just won't watch my favorite movies of all time, which is like, I should watch my favorite movies because they're my favorite movies for a reason. That took a while for me to be like, yeah, let's buy them.
Big point for physical media. You can choose exactly what you want.
Before you just like,
Well, also if I did physical, then all those examples I mentioned wouldn't have worked.
Like, you just buy
Let me stick the DVD into the Switch real quick.
a movie you want, and that's it. Now you're consistently giving these companies money, like every single month, even if you're not
Yeah.
watching anything new. You're just watching the same thing.
I don't think I even activated my Netflix in a month, and
Yeah.
I'm still paying
You're
for
still
it.
paying, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and things keep going off of these subscription services as well.
You know what? Why can't they give you a notice? Why can't it just say this show or this movie will be taken off in this
Yeah.
many?
Oh, if it's in your watch list, yeah, that'd be good. Same thing with PlayStation Plus or like Xbox. That would be like, I read the things, but if we don't read the things, that'd be nice.
Days or this? It's available until this date.
Because I guess on PlayStation you can see like the days until it goes off in the leaving soon category. They have like categories, but
I think nowadays Netflix at least will tell you a
okay, that's good.
show is leaving, but it still sucks that so many things have to go away.
Also,
especially
you've
when it's
never
something
watched
you bought.
Barbie? Damn, you gotta watch Barbie. It's hilarious.
Like I swear, I've bought movies digitally on Amazon that I can't find anymore.
You know, yeah.
Wait, so you bought movies you can't find?
I've bought movies things have to go away, especially when it's something you bought. Like I swear, that so many things have to go away, especially when it's something you bought. Like I swear, I've bought movies digitally on Amazon that I can't find anymore.
Is that a lot? Like, I don't know if that's. Also, I'm curious about. So I do have a couple things on Xbox movies and TVs because they just gave out a bunch of free shit. And then there's like a couple like oddball cases, like, oh, I bought the Simpsons movie in 2010, or 2011 because Xbox credit plus 50% plus sale. I'm like, yeah, sure. I like. It's just a couple of random things like that. Your Name is one of those random things, and when I got on YouTube, I think it didn't have Japanese audio, but the Xbox one does. And like the one on my phone also does. But it's very weird because some of the other movies have different audio tracks. It was just very strange that I didn't I don't have that option. Let me sorry, 1 second. Movies and TVs. Let me just go to Your Name real quick. How do I go to purchased shit? Purchase, there we go. We go to Your Name. This got added to the service last year, apparently. I go to audio.
On his family.
Yeah, it's in English. What the fuck? Huh. Okay, well. I mean, it only got added once Crunchyroll got rid of it or some shit. I think that's gonna happen with Back to the Future, because that's the only one I couldn't buy, because AMC has rights. Not for the second or the third, but yeah. But the Xbox One had the audio selection, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's fair. It's weird that like there's no version of Japanese Your Name that you can like just watch. Well, okay, because if it's not on Crunchyroll, Your Name online. Oh, it's on Netflix, I think. According to this, not in Canada. Cool. And not in Canada as well. So yeah, you need to rent it, or like literally when I searched it, you already got archive.org. Archive.org is actually really good for some of this shit. Like especially some like the weird stuff, right? It's like, where are you gonna watch Harry Potter with guns, right? You're not gonna find that on a streaming service, but like maybe you want to watch Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but all the wands are edited with guns. Um, I did watch that with a couple friends once. It was pretty good. I'd say the more recent example for Web Archive, especially because it has a browser within, was the cuts of Star Wars that use some of the 4K Blu-ray footages where it can, and then some upscaled original footage where it can, to basically one-to-one map the original edit with the highest quality version available, like the Mandys. Are the guns magical guns? No, they just shoot. They just shoot bullets. They add the bullets. Glocks and whatever the heck you want. Um, and then so when I was over at Piox's house, we just like pulled up on the Xbox browser the web archive link, and then we just watched it in there, and it was just the most convenient option. So that's just what won. It's plain old pew pew, yeah. Plain old pew pew. I mean, they do a couple other jokes. Like at the end, they because the spell where like Hermione freezes Neville in order to get down to the passage, and then like Neville gets awarded 10 points for Gryffindor to get them over the edge. She just shoots him in the head, and he just dies. And so when it cuts to that part of him getting 10 points, it's just his corpse all grayed out with like flies, like of rot around him. Like there's a bunch of good jokes in there.
Yeah, I have lost a couple of digital purchases, but
Okay, so you can actually lose digital purchases just straight up from these, because the Xbox One was like very stern about like, yeah, we'll just, you can't buy anything anymore, but you can still wash all the shit you had. I wonder if because Xbox wasn't they never offered just like the streaming of stuff. Like you always had to buy, that the right holders were different than something like Amazon where like they're streaming and buying. Like same with Apple where it's combined. So YouTube might have, well, YouTube you can't really like do a subscription to do movies. I think it's just like you buy. So that's interesting though. I didn't know that just because the if you have DRM, you can, yeah. I mean, I could, again, if YouTube removes the thing, I'll just pirate them or whatever. Like it's less so. Like I already have your name on my phone. I've had it on my phone for ages. Because of like I really fucking like that movie. It's like I can watch that version. I'm good, but yeah, I could probably, but like safety proof in case the apocalypse happens and all those sites go down.
Like these companies don't care. I think they used to offer digital movies on the PlayStation Network and the Microsoft Store for X.
They still offer it for PlayStation via the core app, and it's dumb and stupid. Actually, the core app is only the Sony one, so no, Scott's right.
Xbox and all of that, and I think they shut at least the PlayStation one down, and they just said, sorry, like I think like a lot of companies, specific TV shows and movies, they just disappeared from people's libraries, and they were like, sorry, like we lost the license.
Oh,
that's
shit.
it.
You're kind of like,
who knows what's going to happen with it?
yeah,
Like it's going
because I've seen people.
You're hard
like,
running it
what if
forever.
the service shuts down eventually?
Yeah,
And it's like, what am I going to lose?
I've seen people saying it's just like, I bought all these iTunes movies and they're gone now, and Apple was just like, yeah, we don't have the rights to sell that movie anymore and stuff like that.
If
It's
you
just,
bought it, like you should
Yeah.
have. Like, that's what I love about physical media. Like you buy something, you have it. It exists.
see, this is great, but you just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, and you
that's
can't
why-
watch it on your phone. You can't.
Yeah, when you own a physical DVD, there's no way the company can take it away. It's not like they're going to break into your house to grab it.
Yeah, which
I'd
I
like to
mean,
see
like
them
if these
try.
companies could, they probably would. But
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that sucks. I guess I didn't the iTunes ones as well is interesting because those ones literally when you have iTunes it downloads on your computer. So like you already have the file. And also back in the day I just went ahead and converted some of them. Like I had Shawshank via iTunes. And then I went ahead and converted that so I could watch it on my phone. My phone at the time being a fucking slide screen Samsung Galaxy Q. It was shit. that screen had like a 480 360p resolution. Not a great viewing experience. I don't think I watched on that phone. I think once they got my like actual flagship 2014 smartphone, then I started watching more movies. I watched a lot of YouTube on that slide phone though, like speed runs and let's plays and other shit. Yeah, it worked.
again, I think the digital stuff is so disposable that like it's almost hard to notice sometimes. And that's kind of why it's just like I still got a lot of Blu-rays over there, and it's just like those are always going to be there unless they blow up.
Also, that reminds me of Sean's endeavor to get an official Claws Blu-ray. Like, of course, you can just someone on Etsy's fucking ripping and slapping on Blu-ray, but not the same. Um, yeah, if most of the stuff is just one and done, but I guess if you're like watching The Office forever, you'd want to just. Well, I mean, at that point, if you're watching one show forever, it financially does not make sense for you to, have Peacock or whatever for that, and then you go ahead and you buy it on like iTunes or something because it's like 2012, and then suddenly it's not on iTunes, and you're like, what the fuck? I can't play this thing anymore. I like The Office. I guess games as well. That's the thing. So like, okay, there's a difference between you've already have it downloaded and you don't. It's not downloaded anywhere, right? So for example, some game stores like that discontinue. Like if you already have the thing downloaded, it's downloaded. But if you and then can still play. But if you don't have it downloaded, then you're like shit out of luck. Um, when stuff gets removed. Like your Flappy Bird or your PT or whatnot. Um, but this is well, you can't download them. I mean, in some cases you can, like YouTube, for example, you can. I don't know how the other. I assume the other ones are mobile apps you can download or desktop like iTunes you can. But like if you had that iTunes downloaded, actually let's look that up. Let's look up what happens if iTunes remove your things and you have it downloaded. Because that's actually kind of important. iTunes movies moved. Okay, so oh right, this is a private tab. Okay, let me do this. So these ones are all saying like, yeah, if you bought it and it goes off, you can still download it. Okay, so still there. As long as they're available. Okay, so these ones are also saying, hey, make sure it's downloaded just in case, because it doesn't guarantee perpetual. So, for example, those movies, if they were downloaded, then like it's not going to remove the ability to play that. It's just move the ability to stream it, which is fair. That means you can still digitally archive it, which I think is a compromise a lot of people take in terms of like, but my Steam game, I can like digitally back them up. Same thing with like GOG. If a movie is removed from the store, it'll still appear in personal library, as long as you remain in the same country and the Apple retains rights distributing your. Okay, so I think that it can be up to you to like download and back up through means, if that's something you're worried about. Luckily, all my shit is like, I don't know. Again, I just finally digitally purchased stuff meaningfully, like last month. So we'll see if I get fucked at some point. I'll keep you updated. In, was this gap 7 years? I'll let you know in 2033.
Up.
Although disc rot is something to consider. Some of my DVDs don't work anymore.
I'm good
Oh,
as
shit.
long as my paid copy of Freddy Got Fingered is still on Amazon Prime.
I think originally I remember in a lot of Blu-ray boxes they would give you like a digital code. I think it was for like stuff like Voodoo or something. I think all those purchases are gone.
Yep.
Like they shut down a lot of those things.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's a little different. I remember those like codes that are like, if you claim it within the first thing, some of them just were like raw downloads, since some of them were services. Like I remember, I think the Back to the Future 30th anniversary trilogy had one of those. I think that was 2015 at that point. Like that's pretty late into the game. So, but that was like a separate system where if you claimed it, you could just download it by itself.
Yeah, to an extent. I've lost a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I had a lot of those. I thought.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of them were like transfer it and then hopefully you keep it.
But eventually, every movie would be on digital, all in one place somewhere. I actually thought that was going to happen with Netflix.
Back in 2010, Netflix was awesome. Like they had so many things, and now it's just like things are just constantly leaving and leaving and leaving, and are only there for like a little bit because they're constantly moving to other streaming
Not
services
just
and
that,
stuff like
things
that.
are coming in as just as fast as they're going, so you have no time to watch all this shit, and then they put it on in a full season, so now you have to bulk watch it all in a couple days before it's gone.
One thing I do have to say is that when you're watching a show on DVD, keeping track of where you're at is an ordeal. Like, oh, I'm on disc 8, but which episode is it? But on streaming, all the ones you watched are marked as watched. So I take that over all the, disc jockeying your way through a show.
Yeah, log.
Like a good example is Friends, where like we were trying to figure out, because my sister has like the DVD box set, whereas I got the glitch where Microsoft gave the entire series for $10, as well as on the hard drive. But it's definitely like pretty nice having all those additional features. Whereas like when we were watching at my mom's, we had to like put in like the DVD and like figure out like, oh, okay, it's not this one. Like we actually put in the wrong DVD first because we were trying to count which episodes because it wasn't clear in the box. Because it's like a 10 set box, right? It's like all 10 seasons, and then with them, it's like each thing is like a season's in probably like 4 or 5 discs because each disc has like 5 episodes on it. Yeah, it's a lot.
into these things is also awful. It's like it used to be so much simpler back in the day before everybody got so private, and now we have two-factor authentication. I don't care if I get hacked. I just want to make it easier to log into my streaming apps.
Oh man, logging into Hulu is crazy now because I signed up for Hulu before the Disney takeover. So now every time I try to log into Hulu, which isn't that often, it wants me to use my Disney password, but I already have a Hulu password. So I end up having to log into multiple emails, getting verification codes. It sucks.
That's awful. Paramount Plus has this weird thing where it would like have a problem with like captions or no captions, or like it would have like an interface would remain on screens, or like it
So that one, the captions would be in the top right, and then you would disable or
would have
enable.
like an interface would remain on screen on the TV that I use, like the scrub bar.
I should put more of Star Trek back on my iPad. Let me make a note to do that. Like I can just watch some more episodes because I was like midway through season 2 of Next Generation like a couple years ago. It's like, yeah, I can keep watching that. It was really good.
And the pause, it wouldn't leave, like, so it would just stay over top the TV show I was watching the entire time. So that was rough.
I do remember having a lot of glitches with Paramount Plus, but
Also, which of the apps require two-factor? Like, I've never had to. I guess the email code's a two-factor authentication. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's everything. I don't know. I guess it can be an issue.
one thing good I have to say about it is that of all the streaming services, from what I've seen, Paramount Plus is the only one with an eternal pause. Like, the good old days of DVD.
Wait, some of them you pause and then after a while they just say, "What?" Okay, well, let's see.
You pause it, it stays paused. All the other streaming services, from what I've seen, are like, sorry, you took too long going to the bathroom or getting something to eat, and then it goes into like, it just closes. It either closes the app or it starts playing something else, or who knows what the fuck it.
Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. I guess I just have the habit where, like, if I'm gonna be gone for more than 5 minutes, I'm just gonna shut off the thing. So I never thought about that.
does.
And sometimes, like when you're watching a TV show,
I'm kind of learning that my habits have protected me a bit from some of this shitification. Like some of it I realized and actively avoided, but some of it I've passively avoided. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
it just plays a random episode of some other show. Like
Yeah, I
after
hate
that.
that too.
Yeah.
I actually
Just
really
like,
hate
why?
the preview thing in Netflix. Whenever I'm just like, you start up, it starts
Oh,
playing
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Audio
Like,
just
I don't
starts
wanna-
blasting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want. I don't
That
want
can be
any-
nice,
Yeah,
but it's super annoying when you don't want it. Oh,
but when Netflix starts and it goes doom,
yeah.
I hate that. I don't want to hear a single thing until I start the movie. If that Netflix thing in the beginning is just to like test my sound or whatever, then I'll figure that out as soon as I start the.
I like all these annoyances.
It's just like, all right, I don't like the fees.
I hate that.
I don't like the ads.
Dun,
I don't like the
dun.
sounds.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like how we're upset about this instead of how like all this content IP
Yeah.
is just being rolled over by these billion-dollar companies.
Oh, you know what I hate is that when a movie or show ends, like, I mean, right when it gets to the end credits.
Oh, they'll have the pop up immediately when it gets to the end credits, and it'll be like playing in the next 10 seconds. The other thing, please. And if you just want to watch the credits, it's a fucking pain to just watch the credits.
The movie stops and it'll start playing something else, and you have a chance to cancel it sometimes, but you literally have like 3 seconds to grab the remote, and then you're never sure which button it is, so you end up canceling, stopping the movie anyway. It ruins the movie because
I think there's like settings for that, but again, this usually happens like if I'm watching my mom's Amazon Prime, which like I'm not changing my mom's settings, so
certain movies end on like a final note, like a certain emotion that you're meant to like digest as the credits are rolling and the music is coming in. But it just kills all of that. Like it kills the emotion and it flat out disrespects the art. And not only that, but some movies end with an epilogue telling you some important information of like what happens after. It'll cut all of that. I mean, that's absolute fucking horseshit, and that needs to go away completely.
I yeah, I totally get that.
And that's the thing with a lot of these subscription services is they're more so there's a lot of value there, but that value is only there if you're constantly using them. Like I'm pumping money and I'm pumping all this money into having a subscription to all these apps month after month, when in reality, if I'm not using them, like what's the point of maintaining that subscription unless I'm going to use it? So, I think it just gets to a point that like having all of these options is just like nobody has all the time in the world to watch all of these things. You might as well just stick to one streaming service, and if it doesn't have a show or a movie you like on it, like tough shit.
There's going to end up just being 3 large companies. Disney is absorbing everything. They want to become the world's
They
largest
technically
IP.
own Hulu now.
Yeah.
So
their goal is to own everything. So there's eventually going to be a merge or something, and it's going to come down to 3. It's going to be like Amazon, Disney putting everything together, and probably like Google, YouTube, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's eventually going to work itself out.
guess,
But right now, you're paying.
and that's
It's almost
one
like
Who you paying this
you know
month?
what? It's really like a double-edged sword kind of thing. It's like, okay, like I want the convenience, I want it all to be
Yeah.
under one thing, but also it's pretty frightening when you have
Yeah.
like one like entity that is owning everything and
Yeah.
just like a monopoly. It's fucking scary. Yeah. So like 20 years ago, we had to get in the car to drive to the video store, rent the tape, bring it home.
Yeah, I don't. The Blockbuster era, kind of a lot of the I don't know. It just reminds me for like games in terms of the secondhand profit. It's like immediately you're gonna have to plan for the secondhand market. When you're doing sales with digital, is now just like different things you have to plan for. I saw a really interesting thing where like for Alan Wake 2 having it on PS Plus like the year after like really boosted some of its PlayStation sales, whereas Firebreak it basically did nothing. Because it just kind of like puts like a laser focus on it, and like Alan Wake 2 is great, so all the talk about is great, more people great. And then Firebreak's kind of mess, so everyone's like, "Oh, you don't have to check it out," or if they were curious, they just taste it. Okay, we're good. Um, it's interesting. I wonder for like, because I don't keep up with like, oh, these are the new releases on Netflix or whatnot. That isn't just like their shows, like right? Got to keep up on shitting on Stranger Things season 5 because geez, yeah, and usually I like it doing that from a distance. Like I freaking hated how Game of Thrones season 8 was shoved down our throats. Like all the gaming websites were like, let's take a break from gaming for 2 months and just talk about Game of Thrones. Like fuck you Polygon, fuck you Kotaku. Let me just read fucking gaming news. Oh my goodness. Like actually stop it. So from a distance is my preferred way, which means I don't need to care about the specific what's coming this month and how different content creator or how someone producing a movie needs to worry about any sort of timing or promotion for it going on these services, or like when to like figure out when like watches will peak. Like I guess DVDs you had to worry about that, but it was almost like kind of like a second run that was similar to a movie where like it's like a peak here and then DVDs peak here and then there's limited store space. Whereas it's when do you almost like cut your losses on the digital front? It's like kind of similar to used game stuff of like, okay, when does a publisher stop like, well, it's 2 years since like Burnout 3 came out. I don't think we're getting any new sales of this. But something like, I don't know, Alan Wake 2, right? That's getting surge of sales after a year because of PlayStation Plus. It's just interesting how much stuff can be more everlasting on digital, but also sometimes less so.
Watch it and then return it again.
Yeah.
So things have gotten way easier, but it's going to be funny that in 20 years from now, people are going to be like, remember when you used to have to like look for a movie on Netflix and then hop over to Hulu and like it was all like it was like a mess because right now it's a digital mess. It's like it's not organized.
Yeah.
Everything's just a big fuck story.
Man, there's like a DC streaming service too.
Yeah.
Why?
I
And it's
think
just like
that
you're
merged
limiting
into
the
HBO.
amount of market.
Why?
And it's just like you're limiting the amount of market that that show can get. Like when you do make a deal with Netflix because that's
Oh, they fucked up the audio. Okay, that's on the video side.
it's just like why not like make a deal with Netflix because that's going to get a lot more attention. It's just like making that only part of the DC streaming service is only going to making that only part of the DC streaming service is only going to appeal to DC
The
fans.
only people that are winning right now are the lawyers.
Yeah.
All this
Yeah,
back
it's
and
just-
forth
it's
and the
just really
licensing
annoying.
rights.
I
It's
can't
a
believe
mess.
No one
this
point
whole
this
time
out?
we did not mention that all.
I subscribe to like Stars, the Stars
Yes.
app randomly just because I wanted to watch a movie on there.
That happens now too. So you can have Amazon Prime and then plug in HBO or Star into
to watch
Oh yeah, the
boring.
fucking star shit.
forth and the
really
licensing
annoying.
rights.
I
It's a
can't believe
mess.
this-
The
yeah.
only people that are winning right now are the lawyers.
Yeah.
All this
Yeah,
back
it's
and
just-
forth
it's
and the
just really
licensing
annoying.
rights.
I
It's a
can't believe this
mess.
whole time. Have we
it's
not
just- it's
mentioned
just
that
so
all?
annoying. I subscribe to like Stars, the Stars app randomly just because I wanted to watch a movie on there.
That happens now too. So you can have Amazon Prime and then plug in HBO or Stars into it. So now you can take streaming services and plop in other people's content, which is probably the future of what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like there's gonna be a crash with this, like you said. Like there's definitely it's gonna dwindle down to like a couple of big ones.
Yeah.
So in the 7 years since that video, do you feel it's gotten closer to that prediction?
Yeah, we're almost there. The big three are Netflix, Disney, and Comcast, which owns NBC Universal. If Netflix swallows Warner Brothers, that really seals it.
Wait a minute. Okay. Sorry, back up.
NBC Universal.
Okay, so wasn't there what was the whole Paramount, Warner, what other shit? Let me look that up. Right. Warner Brothers, Discovery. Paramount bid thing. Because Paramount, they're gonna do the merger with Netflix, or Warner was gonna do the merger with Netflix, but Paramount wanted that. But that's not but it's Universal, the same as Paramount. Because like right now, Universal is separate. Okay, good, it's separate. But it's owned by Comcast. Okay. Yeah, which is NBC, which is that. And then which one has wasn't there an HBO merger happening? HBO. No, what's the HBO parent company? That's Warner Brothers, which then was doing Netflix, and then so Netflix is going to acquire in relation HBO, and then also TNT and CNN, I think. 'Cause, yeah, HBO is owned by Warner, then AT&T, AT&T and Warner Brothers. That's merged. Okay, so Netflix is trying to buy all that shit, and then Paramount had the other bid. Okay. Okay. So, fuck. Sorry, that was a lot of things. So, if we're talking about the mega thing,
If
Fiction.
yeah, we're almost there. The big three are Netflix, Disney, and Comcast.
okay, and then I guess, yeah, Amazon's not part of the big three. They're kind of there, but like they've acquired stuff like MGM and whatnot, but not the same rate as. Okay, so Comcast is. So that's
Which the big three are Netflix, Disney, and Comcast, which owns NBC Universal.
fuck right. Okay, NBC Universal, and then who owns Paramount? Or no one owns Paramount. Like Paramount wants to be a player. Okay.
If Netflix swallows Warner Brothers, that really seals it. Amazon Prime isn't quite in the same category
Yeah.
to me as the big three, but they're self-funded. They own the infrastructure this whole mess runs on, so they're not going anywhere. Everyone needs them for servers and stuff. But speaking of infrastructure, we're absolutely going to see AI-generated content on these platforms. Either corporate slop.
Oh, this got announced for Disney. Let's look. Disney Plus AI content. Let's see. Um. Oh, these are AI. Wait, AI shorts. What? So we have a couple different articles. We have this is the most recent of them. And then we have the one from earlier. And we have this one. Okay, let's just limit it to a couple. So here's the first of the three. This is from like mid-November. Subscribers create and view AI generated content. Oh, I thought, okay, so some of them are use it for like generating those like previously on blank episodes, which honestly, kudos for like it can kind of know, because those ones kind of know what's relevant for like when you make it manually, it knows what's relevant. But there's also a lot of times where uh like if I'm going back to Star Trek, I don't, it's episodic, I'll be fine. But like maybe I won't be. We'll see. Um but those ones are like something that you can just kind of like get the highlights of the thing. Like a lot of things like Twitch and YouTube do like the AI highlights or whatever. And also kind of you can feed in like the key points of a thing. Um and then you just get like the parts that then someone can just quickly trim together for time. Um if they have the time to like make it more concise so the viewer can just get back into it. Like useful enough. I think that's like the only case where I'm like, okay, that's a good AI workflow for these services. For the actual video part itself. I think Amazon's also doing that. I don't know. Short form videos. What is, but like, you trying to like, I don't know, I'm just trying to get their pitch of like why they think fans want to make their own creations. Okay, these are the social videos that I made. Okay. So you can make prompts via for your Disney characters, but you need to have Disney Plus because that's like the way that people pay for Disney content. It's like, oh, you are the Jedi. Dumb as fuck. Okay, and then okay, shorts. This is a waste of time, money, and environmental resources, frankly. Like, there's part of me that's like, just because of the environmental impact of AI, it's like, because especially like we talked a couple years ago about when blockchain was the fad. It's like this kind of doesn't do anything that you can't do with a centralized system. Asterisk like one or two things of like, do you trust the government, whatever, and it costs way more environmental resources. Where there's some things like it kind of like, really helps certain flows, like in certain things where it's like, okay, if I'm like, this is like kind of useful for people, so it's enough worth the environmental resources, and then all the useless shit is like definitely not worth that shit. And the fact that there's more worthless shit than worthwhile shit, and companies are like, we're gonna like expand on the worthless shit, but like building way more power consumption and environmental resources issues, like, no, don't like for every one good case there's like 10 bad cases of useless ass shit that's just ruining the planet. And this is one of those. Like, put out a thing where like, those like books or those like template videos where it's like, here's like the Christmas elf, right? And you can put your face on it. Just do that with the fucking this guy and just have that. I'm sure like 70% of people will be happy with that, especially if they're fucking preschool kids. Anyways,
For the masses, or eventually you will generate your own content using their company's IP, if that makes sense. Like, you log in and make your own show based on Stranger Things or whatever.
also, I wonder when they recorded this in 2026, because yeah, because the first article I saw was mid-November, and then the last article was this month.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's still kind of confusing because it's like it's all over the place. Yeah, no, I think there will definitely be a crash at some point. There can't be this many streaming apps, especially with how expensive they're all getting.
The problem with physical media is similar, actually. DVD was the pinnacle, I think. But then when the HD format came along, you had Microsoft and Sony duking it out over HD.
Yeah, it's weird because DVD, they kind of all like agreed, like, hey, let's not go through bullshit like we had with let's make a one interoperable format. Like all the companies were cool with that. And then for Blu-ray, they're like, we can let's like kind of exclude some companies from the club, make our own club. And then all the other companies like Panasonic are like, let's fuck you, we're starting our own club. And they fought, and then certain fucking production like uh companies that produce movies only release on one format versus the other, and that was annoying for 2 years.
DVD versus Blu-ray, and of course Blu-ray won. So then nobody can release a movie on Blu-ray unless you pay royalties to Sony. Nothing like that has ever happened to DVD or VHS. Yeah, so I think DVD was like the glory days, but then Blu-ray was kind of a step down. I mean, aside from being technically superior, the Blu-rays had unskippable ads, less bonus features, the menus got lazier. It sucked. Blu-rays just went down the shitter because they have so many more trailers and menus in the beginning that you can't skip.
Yep.
It got worse with that, and plus the menus, they put no effort into the menus. They all have that stock thing with like the little icon with the camera and like the clapboard, and like you just use like a cookie cutter menu. They don't do cool things anymore. Like I remember like the Ghostbusters DVD. It had like a map of Manhattan with like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's coming here, and you can click on all the things, and they had all this cool interactive stuff.
The Alien Quadrilogy box set had great DVDs because it looked like the Weyland-Yutani computer system.
They're probably right over there.
Yeah.
They also had more bonus features. There was all kinds of extras. You'd have like
It's interesting. I was going through my videos on the plane. One series I really liked, the No CG is Still CG or CGI series, where a lot of kind of education in the 2000s, you could see the behind the scenes of like where the practical and digital kind of merge, and all movies still do that today, but the marketing is very much, no, we don't do like digital, we do as much practical as we can. It's like that's also what was done literally like 100 years ago. You do that, right? Like, and it's just different ways to do that now, but like you don't see that as easily because the companies hide that. And I don't know, it does make for a worse experience for people who actually care about this shit. Like, I usually don't, except for these, but like movie buffs, like James, for example, like that's a huge downgrade.
the commentaries, behind the
Slimmed
scenes stuff,
down.
and now they just don't do shit. And another thing, sometimes you need to connect your Blu-ray player to the internet to download some kind of update.
Oh yeah, there's like yearly keys. The only time the PS3 gets an update is to renew these encryption keys, which is very funny. There's like a way for VLC just to get the keys pretty easily if you're playing a Blu-ray player connected to your computer. It's also like a bit of a pain.
If you need the internet.
Oh, also a fun thing is that any of the Blu-rays I had ripped, I then used Handbrake to like if they were over 4 gigs, I compressed them to 4 gigs. So then, because my media hard drive is FAT32, which is a 2 terabyte drive, so that's fine. But it's just so I can because exFAT has licensing fees, whereas FAT32 does not. So if I'm putting it on a console, I just want to guarantee, or a place, I want to guarantee that it can read and play these things. And, just like the Blu-ray, you can't guarantee that exFAT's going to be supported. Like, going back to the Switch does not like the exFAT. All of its games are just fucking 4 gigabyte blocks. There's also some interesting things about, like, I think the 360 supports AVIs, but the Xbox One does, or vice versa. Like there's a couple format issues, but otherwise they all just support 360 supports FAT32. So if I want to do it picture in picture, I do that, but I don't. I just do YouTube picture in picture because YouTube still works on a 360, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah.
Internet to play physical media, that defeats the whole purpose of physical media. The disc holder sucked, bookmarking your movie never worked, whereas DVD always picked up right where you left off. Everything about Blu-ray just didn't function as simply as DVD.
Yeah.
So I think that unless physical media is going to get better, how can it stick around? 4K discs are more simple, I will say. I like that they've gone back to basics, but it's still very bare bones compared to the creative menus and all the extra content that DVD had. So I don't think it's really going to save physical media, unfortunately. But
That's
I
interesting.
suppose you could
like
say
the
that
downgrade. I definitely, again, during the Blu-ray era, it's definitely Dad picked a movie, we just watched it. We're not watching extra. Whereas DVD era, was like, yeah, I'm messing around the menus, but I was usually the one controlling. So I didn't really get to experience the disappointment of like, oh, the Blu-ray doesn't have the thing, or yeah.
media will never die completely because nostalgia never dies. There's people who still like VHS, like me. All the classics.
Yeah.
Night Living Dead, Halloween, Bigfoot and Witches.
Oh, man. I love that. Hey, I mean, like, you still probably can't see Dracula versus Frankenstein on Netflix.
They never fight in that whole movie.
Yeah, and also someone like James is gonna watch a lot of the niche shit and like just want like he's doing, let's say it's October, right? Halloween month. You want to watch your horror movies during Halloween. So like, okay, that's the month that you're kind of fucked if it's on like 4 different streaming services what you had planned. Instead of like, oh, one year I'm gonna do a Netflix Halloween and the next year I'm gonna do a different Halloween. And then that's kind of, then you have to plan for if something gets moved because it's niche as heck. Like gets moved on something else. Like that would suck. If you're trying to do that, you're financially going to be triple dipping to get that done.
Yeah, I mean, I like
They don't.
I
They
like
don't
that
fight.
the one screenshot they take
Yeah.
to symbolize this entire movie is just Frankenstein looking just
Oh,
like,
no.
oh god.
I will say there is also a lost art with box art because now with
Yeah.
like how thumbnails have to be.
Yeah,
and how
they're
the
only
thing-
thumbnails on Netflix
okay.
too.
More complaints. Right, Netflix changes the thumbnails all the time.
Oh
yeah.
fuck! And some of them make no
Yeah.
goddamn sense.
Yeah, and it'll trick me, and I know that's the idea, but it works. I'm like, I click on something, I'm like, oh yeah, wait, that looks new. Oh wait, I watched that already. They
Yeah.
just changed the thumbnail.
Sometimes
I've
they'll
never
use like art from like
I see on YouTube when people change thumbnails, I'm like, oh, like interesting. I almost like think of like, oh, why did the previous thumbnail not work? Like I think about that aspect. Like I think that's interesting in the feed. For like recommended videos, by the time it gets to recommended, I usually don't see stuff in like the first day in recommended. Like if I look at the sidebar here, let's see if it shows. You can see like the days and the months. Like I don't think there's going to be anything that's a day or like 0 days old. Why am I in here? So by the time it gets here, it's already okay. There's one thing. That's one thing that's new. Oh, here's a second thing that's new. Okay. So there's a couple things that I might have seen once on here, and then okay, the thumbnail changes, but it's like not something I'm subscribed to. Whereas something I'm subscribed to, I kind of it definitely gets me to think about it more, but I think my workflow, either I watch the thing immediately or it just goes into the watch later. And if it's kind of like not important, but like kind of important, then that's here. Like for example, this thing I didn't watch later. Yeah, like I probably like I'm not sure how much I actually care about a video about Bowser in Melee. Like I've seen a couple. But like what I'm gonna do is I'll watch later it, and then maybe if I'm in the mood for it in a couple days, I'll look because I'm like, you know, after Genesis, I'm like kind of more in the mood to watch Melee content. Also, fucking Genesis was like, yeah, Cody's just gonna whip out another 11-person losers run again, and just he lost to Pikachu, OKP, or no, he lost to Swift early on, and then suddenly, yeah, I'm just gonna go killing again. Oh, the red bar. Okay, so the red bar is fucking annoying because sometimes it shows it at the proper progress, like it's midway through, and sometimes it's like, oh, the red bar is gonna show the entire thing, but when you click on it, it's midway through. And it's like, why are you if the click works and gets me to the right part of the video, why does the red bar show it as full? Ugh. That's annoying. That's so annoying. And then like YouTube for the watch later is like, oh yeah, remove things you've already viewed. And it's like, well, I might have been midway through a video and it's still in the watch later, and if I press that button, then it's gonna be gone. So like I'm not gonna press that button ever. I'm just gonna go through the watch later, take the 10 minutes and curate it. So like I never use that button. um Yeah, but I guess Netflix. I don't know if Netflix also has. You've already seen this. I guess they were talking about the TV series. It picks up where you left off, but I'm not sure the UI there. Um, Also sometimes like it recommends stuff that has no views, and like it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it really does take an interesting subject for me to like look at something that doesn't have a couple thousand views. Because I know it's made it to other people, and like, do I? Yeah, probably not making compelling. You could be making a compelling video, but like, I'm not gonna chance my time on that.
The sequel of a movie,
Yeah.
for the original and stuff like that, like
Oh,
it can be ridiculous.
Ninja Turtles. The thumbnails for all 3 Ninja Turtle movies are from Turtles 3. It's from like
No shit.
Yeah, it sucks.
Wow.
It's like instead of the really good costumes,
yeah.
it's all like the shitty, like bad.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? There's some stuff in there that's like a scene in the movie that doesn't matter, or like a third character that's not the main. Like,
Yeah.
Why didn't they just cut up the poster art or something? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Or like, why does it have to be like the size of like a YouTube thumbnail? Why can't it look like actual movie posters or something like
You
that?
ever look at trailer and then instead of it, because they don't have a trailer or something, or they can't find it, they show like just like 2 minutes.
It
From
used to
some
be
random
movie
part
posters back like when Netflix first came out, and then yeah, they
in
switched.
the middle of the movie that makes no sense.
Oh, and then they put music to like don't like stock
Oh
music.
yeah. Now, what would you say is like your preferred, like ranking the subscription services for you? Like
okay.
preferred to like least preferred. I don't know. Out of all the ones you've used.
I've canceled all of my streaming services except for Amazon Prime because I have that for like the shipping and stuff.
Okay, if I had to give rankings, oh, my cat's at the fridge. I feel like in terms of stuff I subscribe to the most, in terms of like trials or things, I'd say Dropout's been number 1. Apple TV's been number 2. I feel like they just have a lot of very good original TV shows, and sometimes they have like good movies. Like I remember 2021, they had both the Michael J. Fox and Sylvester Stallone documentary, or 2022. No, it was 2023 that they had that. Right, those were both 2023. And like that's good shit. Or like, yeah. Then after that, I'd say Prime. I've actually subscribed to once on my own. And then Netflix I've watched on another people thing, but I don't think I've subscribed on my own. No, I think I did exactly once a couple years ago for a month. I forget. Oh wait, no, sorry. Go back up to like number 3 and put Crunchyroll on there. So we have Dropout, Apple TV, Crunchyroll, Prime, Netflix. Oh yeah, I think I did it when like I was watching like Final Space back in like winter 2019. And a couple other things. Oh yeah, that's when I was testing out the MLP in French, but then I just went for the pirate site because the subtitle thingy. I want to basically be able to either choose subtitles in English or subtitles in French for my learning. And they only had English subtitles. Yeah. And then everything else I don't think I've touched ever. Yeah. Like I haven't even touched. So over here we don't have Hulu. Our equivalent's like Crave. I don't think I've ever touched Crave once. Yeah.
Well, outside of that, there is a ton of garbage on Amazon Prime.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Especially like a lot of times I look for documentaries.
Also, yeah, I just totally ranked Amazon Prime over Netflix. You can add me. There's enough animated shows on Amazon Prime I give a shit about, like Invincible and Has Been, as well as like they do sports really good. Like I have to say, Amazon does fucking sports good. Like between like, hey, here's like, okay, I want to watch like Monday Night Hockey, right? Like they have a routine thing. It's like Thursday Night Football. You want to watch like, well, I guess they also have Monday Night. There's Monday Night Football, but Thursday Night Football is the one that like they have you stream rights for in America, I think. Or no, that's Twitch. Anyways, they have that. They have like different documentary series of historical stuff, like like the Invincibles of like the 2004 Arsenal team or whatever. Then they have more contemporary stuff, like their All or Nothing series. And then they have some like that's team specific, and then they have sports specific stuff. Like the one I watch for hockey is like Face Off inside the NHL. And like this covers some good storylines from the year. Like I have to say, like their sports stuff is like really fucking good. Like surprisingly good. Yeah, so that's always a pleasure.
And on Amazon Prime, you can find documentaries on all.
You said sports specific stuff is common. Yeah. Do you have any specific place when you're like, I want to watch documentaries on like Argentina or specific football clubs or just football leagues in general? Like, I don't know if you care about like anything that goes on the Premier League in general. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry, this is not. Hey, I want to watch the live sport. I want to follow a team and I want to watch each of their games because that is on these streaming services is a whole fucking other tier of bullshit with local blackouts and different distribution rights and some like that's all. I don't do that. That's fuckery. Just pirate that shit. Uh, they have the rights. Oh, okay, yeah. It's more so like the narrative side or like the documentary or like the that with the occasion of like maybe I want like a little taste of this. Yeah. Sports packages are like so fucking expensive. Do I remember this is a side, but Paul was thinking about paying for a month of like NHK for sumo, and it was like $45, and it's like, dude, it's not even like it's not even like a prime sport here. Multiple ad tiers, yeah. Like the Amazon Prime, the Prime Video you get for Prime is ad tier, and yeah, they have a whole bunch of different shits. Yeah, so over here, so how it works for sports is like, let's say I just want to watch a specific team in the NHL. Like I just want to watch all 82 of their games. So, one, if it's a local team to you, you have to deal with a lot of like let's say it's a team that's not local to you, right? Let's say it's a team that you can't just drive an hour away to visit. Okay, so the rights are distributed across 3 or 4 different services. I mentioned the Prime. This is like Monday Hockey on Prime. There's TNT, ESPN, and I think Sportsnet gets some exclusive stuff. So that's already 4 different things. Then there are, let's say that team plays a team in your area. You have to deal with local blackout where like, hey, they have the rights except the team doesn't want it on streaming if you're in this geographic location. Go to a fucking bar, go to the game to support your team. And you're like, I want to support the team from home, and they say no. No. And it's like, why? It's like, so then you have to like go ahead and either use a VPN or do whatever. And they don't do it for every game, but they do it for some games for local blackout. And like but I'm already paying all this money for these things, or you have to have specifically the cable package for this. And then that's when it goes into the thing you're talking about with the different football packages, and yeah. Yeah. It sucks. Don't Moral of the story, don't be a sports fan.
Almost anything,
Yeah.
and it's just like images that look like they were taken from Google and just a voiceover.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is like it's like YouTube quality. Just I mean,
Yeah,
like
it's
Also, Crunchyroll gets the edge over Amazon Prime in this case because it's on like I able to watch on my Switch and stuff, which is a huge W.
YouTube as in like a
yeah,
common user.
And the trial system is much nicer compared to Amazon's trial system.
Somebody who just made
I
something.
guess unfortunately
But still, Apple TV and drop out as 2-1.
Fortunately, with Amazon Direct Video and stuff, almost anyone can sign up for it now. It used to be really exclusive.
yeah.
And then they're like, haha.
Sorry, you just listen to matches and imagine what's happening. What do you not have? Are there not the sites that stream that? Like I have one for NHL matches because I'm like, or just general American sports matches because I'm not dealing with that fuckery. And it's like a site that conglomerates different sites. So like for example, one of the big regular sites that was doing the piracy, Stream East, got taken down like last year or some shit. As well as a Reddit for NHL streams a couple years ago. So like there's takedowns, but usually conglomerate sites are like, well, I'm not streaming the thing, I'm just showing the thing because of the delay. So like if there's a minute delay, you just already hear the reactions of people who live next to you, and you're like, God damn it, they just scored and I can't see it for another 30 seconds. Ah, fuck. I'm sorry then. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Hey, maybe knock on their door and be like, "Hey, want to be friends?" And like I can like bring popcorn and we can watch the game together. Maybe. Also, should I? Okay, one thing I've been looking at is, should I put my webcam on top of the underlay here? So like, let's say, where's my webcam at? Or the overlay. So Oh, that's why, because I want the chat during the start screen, so I can't have my webcam over there, or else when my webcam shows on the start screen. Okay, that's fine. Just get a little bit of text on there. You spoil them as well. That's pretty good.
We want to be like YouTube, but with the bar a little bit higher, but not high enough.
Yeah. I just keep on forgetting it exists. But Hulu, I've been kind of growing into a little bit more. I've been watching some random TV shows on there.
Yeah.
I'd rather see movies in theaters and stuff like that.
I probably have to say Shudder.
Also, for me, watching movies in theaters is less about the format or the price. It's more so I'm going to a physical location, so I don't get distracted. Because if I watch something at home on the TV, 20 minutes later, I'm like, well, I could be playing a game, or I could be doing this, or I could be doing a chore, I could be doing, and then like I don't finish it. So yeah, that's why I go to a movie theater to have the separation of space.
It's the ultimate in horror. I mean, if you're into horror, Shudder is the way to go.
Oh gosh, I haven't even thought about the services like Criterion and all those shits. We're not even gonna think about that unless they bring it up.
They've had original shows like the new Creep Show, which is really good. They dust off a lot of the classics and make them look better than ever. And best of all, it has The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs.
There's Tubi. I love Tubi.
Oh,
You get
fucking
all
Tubi. He's such a big Tubi fan because he's just like, look at all this random garbage you can find on here. He's just like, he's just fascinated by it. I don't know, man. This man gets off on Tubi.
of funny stuff on Tubi. It's like actual blockbuster movies, and then some of the most like B movie, just bottom of the barrel trash I've ever seen. But it's kind of fun. And then there's like Pluto TV. That's pretty cool. That's like an internet free cable TV alternative where it's like internet based channels.
I actually have too many streaming services. I mean, you wouldn't believe. It's not like VHS and DVD where you can clearly see how much I have. All the digital stuff is hidden. I used to have Boomerang, which is where all the Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera stuff was,
Oh, yeah,
but I think that all migrated to HBO Max. I have ones that you might not have even heard of. I have Shout Factory. I have Hi-Ya, the martial arts one. I have Criterion, Masterclass.
Oh,
I mean, it's bad.
yeah.
It's like an addiction. Even if I'm not watching them all, I just want to have access to everything. And it is a tax write-off.
Okay. Okay, James. Okay. Sure. Justify it by being like as a tax write-off.
Yeah, you need it for research purposes, of course. Yeah.
And we all have YouTube, I guess. That one's necessary. And if you don't want all those ads, you got to get premium.
I didn't think about you.
Yeah, I'm definitely using premium right now. Yeah. Um, I did do premium before. I like back in the day. I was like, okay, I'll try some of the original programming. Like I remember Slow Mo Guys had a YouTube Red Show and Vsauce and stuff. And then they kind of stopped that angle. I'm like, okay. And I think I did premium once, like a 3 months in 2022 based on a thing. So what I do now sometimes is I'll make a fake YouTube channel and do like a month of premium. If like for example, let's say on like I want to use specifically the Xbox 360 and do YouTube picture in picture and don't want to deal with the ads, but it's like on an ad channel. Like oh I want to go through this person's entire live stream of like this game. Like the last time was like a Gel Plays game series. It's like okay, I'll do that. But otherwise, the other places I have access to have, other convenient ways to do. Like I have other ways to do picture-in-picture or background play on my phone, for example. So I don't need that. It's almost like what else do you get? I think you get like extra resolutions, or like you get the good 1080p. I don't even really notice. I don't know what the good 1080 versus bad 1080 looks like, to be honest. I'm pretty oblivious to that. I know some people are super sensitive to that. Like Paul can tell the difference between an 8K or 8 kilobit 8,000 no 8 kilobit per second and a 20 kilobit per second stream. Barely can. I barely can. I don't know why I'm looking to the left. There's nothing to the left. I'm just looking at a wall right now. Yeah, but I think YouTube Premium, because I did my trial over 3 years ago, I could do another trial, and it's like, okay, maybe if I go to a long trip again, I'll do that. Do another like month trial and like download a bunch of shit. But honestly, now that I have movies to download, if I want that little like itch, as well as like, I still have a couple YouTube videos downloaded on my phone right now. My YT DLP has been having issues lately. Not sure why, so I need to relook at that if I want to download some more stuff. Because honestly, a lot of the good converter websites have kind of just gone away, and might as well use it for like a batch of videos. So what I do for that is I'll look at my watch later, I'll do a cleaning, I'll be like, these ones are like on the edge. So those ones get the download, and then they get removed from the regular watch later, and everything else gets removed from the watch later. And that's kind of how I go with it.
YouTube Premium.
It's a good system, because before I used to use my watch later, I was like, only things I really want to watch. And like I would have my watch later sometimes at 0. But then I adapted to like, actually I can use this a bit better, sacrifice the cleanness a little, but use it to like really be like, I think I'll be in the mood for this within the next 6 months. That's now what my watch later is. And I think in 6 months I'll have a hard time finding this. And that's kind of combating YouTube's fucking abysmal search system. Just another thing entirely.
Do have that, which that's that's a subscription service that's like, I think they used to offer original YouTube Red shows, YouTube Premium shows.
Yeah.
I never watched any of them. Actually, that's where Cobra Kai started, I think.
Yeah, I loved Cobra Kai. But yeah, it moved to Netflix after that. But let's have a survivor round. Let's say you had to cancel all your streaming services except for like 2 of the major ones. Which ones would you cancel first?
What would I cancel first? Peacock. I don't think I have Peacock anymore. I would cancel Peacock.
They say Hulu is going to become part of Disney Plus, so I guess we could just say lose Hulu.
Paramount Plus, more like Paramount Puss.
Probably HBO Max after that. There's not a lot going on with HBO Max.
Okay.
Apple TV has a lot of good ones. I really like the studio, but in the long run,
Oh yeah, I haven't actually. I need to see the studio, or at least try it out. That one and like fucking anything that. Oh gosh, who is? 1 second. Sorry, I just need to look. Yeah, anything Nathan Fielder. I need to fucking watch at some point, but I'm never like, I'm in the mood for Nathan Fielder. You know, like I respect it all, but like it's uh um let me, sorry, I just have a list of shit. The studio. This list includes stuff like I guess I should also add the okay. Has Slow Horses, Life on Mars, Dark Side of the Rainbow, Delicious in Dungeon, Orb, Doro Hedoro, Spy X Family, Hanako, A Look Back, Mr. Robot, Promised Neverland, Season 1. You and I are polar opposites. Good Place, Season 2, The Studio, Nathan Fielder. A bunch of like mishmash of like, if I'm really not in the mood for like anything, maybe I can pull from there. I haven't really pulled from there yet, but I figured I might start. Hmm.
I think it's going to have enough shows to keep it going. So I don't know. I'd say Apple lose that one.
Do you know they removed the streaming service used to be called Apple TV Plus, and now it's just called Apple TV, which they sell a product called Apple TV now, and the app is just called Apple TV. It's all over like it's like 5 different things called Apple TV. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Amazon Prime and YouTube Premium are kind of like exempt from this. One's a shipping service and one is a public video platform. So they're kind of in their own separate column.
I'd probably say.
Oh right, Disney Plus. I guess I've subscribed to Disney Plus once when I was binging through Gravity Falls like years ago, and then once when binging through the Owl House. So I guess I put that over oh gosh, what I have. So I had Dropout, Apple TV, Crunchyroll, Amazon Prime. I guess then Disney Plus, then Netflix. Otherwise, I used someone's Disney Plus for a couple years to be like, maybe I'll watch like episodes of Simpsons here. Or maybe I'll give Mandalorian another shot. And then that was a mistake, but
Netflix, maybe Disney Plus would be good to keep around, but even then, I don't even use Netflix that much. But Netflix has its grasps around me.
Way.
It's just kind of like, oh, you always need a Netflix account. That's how I feel.
So there you have it, Disney and Netflix. And we didn't even talk about music.
It's really difficult because I think.
Oh, fucking music, yeah. I've been slowly going through and like making lists of like, as I find a song, like, oh, I should download this. Now after the Song of Every Year stream, I kind of got more conscious of how shit I am with song names in general. And then like if I come across a song, it's like, oh yeah, I should download this. Because sometimes back in the day, I'd be like, oh yeah, that tone, I recognize it from somewhere, but like I kind of forget where. And then like years later, I'd be like, oh, like I'll see it, like I'll think about it every now and then years later, I'd be like, oh yeah, I should actually look this up or try like to Shazam it or something. It's like, oh yeah, it's the Saints Are Coming, or like I remember Billy Joel Piano Man. And it's like I literally just asked the person who was like playing the song at a wedding. I'm like, which like I should know this song, but which song is this again? It's like, oh, this Piano Man. It's like, right. It's like for some reason in my head the harmonica was someone different.
Something like the music industry,
now it's like maybe I shouldn't wait like 10 years before I like internalize the name of the song,
comeback of
maybe 10 years is slightly too long.
Vinyls makes sense because vinyls are almost like a collectible, but also like
Oh yeah, on the trip, I basically went on because I had like a trial of Amazon Music because I bought headphones to noise cancel a person who then got laid off, and I was like on the trip like, okay, let's like download some music from here. Let's just found a playlist that's like all the hits, and it's like 288 songs from like across the decades. All the pop/rock hits. And then so I just downloaded it and I screenshotted like 5 things since because I've listened to it on the plane and other places. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep listening to this until my subscription expires because I was like, oh, let's catch up on 2025 pop because maybe there's some good songs I missed because I kind of heard a couple good songs, but most of them were crap for pop. And turns out, no, this was just 2025 was not good for pop. Sucks to suck, I guess. So after that revisit, I'm like, Oh, what else can I do with the rest of this trial? Ah, this is good use of my time.
It's like you get this big, bold art of the album artwork. You know, it's a different experience than just streaming it or listening to it otherwise.
Yeah, I've started buying more records lately. Not that
I also have now been like trying to listen to more albums in like order. Um, either through usually it's through the one app that I used up until last year that just had like Spotify and YouTube integration. I still use it for like listening to YouTube stuff, just audio. Um, and like I'll like get like a YouTube playlist of songs, or like I'll just like look up their album and then just listen to it through there. Or sometimes the trending albums are at least a little more relevant than the trending songs. Like if I go to the app right now, the trending songs are probably going to be crap, and then the trending albums will be like kind of worthwhile. The trending songs used to be great, and then like it just became absolute shit overnight. Like I literally overnight, like the start of June 2025 is when it just yeah. Yeah, none of these songs are relevant right now in the popular songs. Um so no popular albums. Fucking okay. To be fair, Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen are both relevant, and I hate them. Okay, The Weeknd kind of like, yeah, this a 2016 album of them, but they're kind of good. A 2025 album. Why is Lana Del Rey's Born to Die the most popular album, quote unquote? Oh, we got a somber album on here. That's nice. I was watching the Grammys with my sister. It's like, oh yeah, somber's gonna win like best new artist, until like Olivia song came on. I was like, wait, Olivia's a new art. Oh no, she's gonna win like 100%. Um, Grammy. Yeah. Yeah. Like I did not realize Olivia Dean was, you know, like was nominated. And her song was like, oh yeah, right. She's getting it. Like we both said it. It was like, yeah, she's getting it. And then we have a 2007 Rihanna album. It's like, I could go for that. We got a 2024 Billie Eilish album, and then K-pop's Demon Hunter. So like, there's more relevant stuff in this albums list. That's like, yeah, maybe I'm in the mood for that. Not gonna be in the mood for fucking Luke Combs, but or Morgan Wallen, but like whatever. They are popular and they are recent.
need any more stuff. But I think that's for when you really want to focus on a particular album and make the most of that experience. However, 90% of the time, I'm streaming music because I love shuffling songs up and making all these cool playlists. I am a playlist junkie. I've been making mixtapes since the era
Oh, that's cute. That's really cute.
of cassettes, in which you had to copy everything in real time. So now that you can make all the mixes you want instantaneously on your phone, you can listen anywhere. For me, that makes streaming music no contest. That's a winner. But yeah, for those occasions when you're like, this is a music night, I'm going to sit down, listen to a record, then yeah, that's always there.
Should
But
I
let's
have
get
a
down to the
music
final
night? I've never had a music night.
word. When it comes to physical versus streaming, which do you prefer?
Physical, not even close. Movie theaters. Streaming is okay for convenience, but it's gotten pretty gross.
Justin says physical. Scott?
You lose something without the physical media aspect of it. I feel like there's a level of like intention with buying a movie or renting a movie, having that physical copy, putting it in. Like you have to make time to specifically do that. With streaming, it's just such a like a junk food mentality of like, screw it, I'm gonna watch this right now. Like, and it kind of makes it so then the movie or TV show you want to watch just doesn't really matter.
I I've never. I don't think I felt that with that, because I kind of, as I said, I have like a list of like, oh yeah, I'll get to this. Like this is on the this is on the mind for enough time. I guess I don't doom scroll on these services, so if you're subject to doom scrolling, like, I mean, which I assume Scott is considering his Tubi endorsement, then yeah, it could suck. Because like scrolling at a Blockbuster, right? You're scrolling through stuff, and then you kind of like need to make a decision and be like, this is almost like I'm putting my chips on this, and you got to think about it a bit. Whereas something on Netflix, like, yeah, let's like nibble. Okay, I don't know if this is the best experience I could have had, but like this is the one I just started up. So yeah, I guess that part's a downgrade.
I think it would be nice to maybe take a step back and maybe think about like, what movie do I want to watch tomorrow? Let me order the DVD, let me order the Blu-ray, and then, you know, make time to sit down.
Yeah, if you don't have that anticipation already. Whereas like, again, because I'm doing these trials specifically for shows, I already have the anticipation. Whereas if you already have the service, then you're doing that. And I guess for like something like PS Plus and like and Game Pass, ISO doesn't really count because I fucking pay like $10 a year for it because of family plan. That's whatever. That's not like, you know, I'll play Ninja Gaiden 2 at some point, right? They got added to NES recently. I'm not itching for Ninja Gaiden 2, but like, let's say Scott Pilgrim EX dropped on there, which it's not because it's Ubisoft and whatever. But like, heck yeah, we're doing that now. Oh yeah, that reminds me. What were the free play days that I missed? I even look at the Xbox where it's like, this game will be free access for a couple days if you have Xbox, because I play some fun games with that. Like the most recent one was last year, Catan, the digital version. Because like organizing that tabletop sim's a little too much, but like, hey, have a digital game? Sure, we'll boot it up and play it. So yeah, I haven't done one since, to be honest. So last year wasn't that strong for the free play days. But if I go like Xbox, like, you know, PlayStation, it's like, okay, I know the extra games, the big walk is coming. Like, okay, I'm looking forward to that. I'm not Spider-Man 2 on there on the extra this month. I'll pass. I got Miles Morales, but like, hey, I could replay Venba again. Like, fuck yeah. Venba's great. Neva, I could try out. Right? You know, it's so pretty. It creates desktop backgrounds. I'd say I'm still like, especially I'd say on these services, because it's a lot more limited in terms of what comes on. It's like almost still quantifiable. It's not too overwhelming. Whereas I'd say something like Netflix, like if you had to rank every single game on PS Plus, I could maybe do that. If I had to rank every single piece of content that's on Netflix, no, fuck off. do not make me do that.
Put the disc.
So it's a different mentality. Like, your Blockbuster has like a limited space. Actually, I don't even think Blockbuster is a good comparison for this. I just think that it's the pickups are kind of more like, because I look at each month the news, I'm like, well, I'm looking forward to when they add this in a couple days, and then in a couple days when they add it, I've already kind of determined I'm playing this right now, or like, I'm getting there in a bit.
And I think that kind of creates longer lasting memories of the media I'm consuming, rather than just treating it like.
So again, another thing where like, based on how I interact with subscription services, I've kind of avoided the issues that they're talking about.
Like, oh, it's just one of a billion options on this streaming service.
So that's physical for you, Scott?
Oh man, you see, I got enough crap in my house.
Yep.
But I think, I think the answer that I would like to answer with is like there's a balance.
Yes.
I'm answering the awful lame answer of like I do prefer streaming right now.
Yeah.
But I think I do eventually want to kind of train myself to get back into the swing of things. Maybe get a couple more Blu-rays, DVDs.
I've been doing the same with 4K discs, trying to get back into physical media, but I don't think I'm going to end up collecting that many. I don't know. I mean, I have enough Blu-rays.
But whenever I put in a Blu-ray, the menus aren't fun. They're always they're not fun anymore. So it's just like, you know, it's almost like Blu-ray menus are like streaming menus. So it's just kind of like, it's not as fun. So streaming for now, but you know, I like my physical stuff too.
Well, that's one for physical, one for streaming. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker. That puts me in a tough spot because I'm on the fence, honestly. I agree with everything Scott said here. Physical media is more special, but streaming is more convenient. If I were to answer truthfully which one I use the most often, it would be streaming. Even though I'll always have a place in my heart for physical media, there's a time and a place for both. So I guess what we're saying here is that streaming wins, but it's not that simple.
Okay. Cool.
All right, good talking to you guys again.
I'd say streaming wins, and in terms of the physical stuff I still do, I'd say really it's just Switch games, and that's kind of mainly because Nintendo never fucking puts anything on sale ever digitally. Like if they do, it's like 33% off. That's twice a year, like 2 years later. Whereas physical, I can actually get deals. It also really helps that like I can keep a dozen Switch games on me with my Switch at any time to switch out games. And that's like super convenient. Whereas an Xbox, for example, it's the disc. But I think part of that decision was made because I only got my Switch in 2022. So at that point, I already had a couple years of the Xbox One, and you know, getting back into gaming and my PC and stuff. So it was definitely a I don't know, it's definitely the joy of like unboxing a thing I kind of missed, as well as like keeping around like okay, now this gets on my priority queue of games, because on Xbox and PlayStation I don't buy games. I just, my priority queue um is the service, whereas on Switch, the because there's no equivalent service, um the priority queue is kind of like the what game is up next, or what game's in the queue of like, here's a couple multiplayer ones I'd want to play, and here's a couple single player ones I want to play. It definitely helps with the queue mentality. Also because Switch for a multiplayer is much more of a like you're kind of presenting a thing, whereas like I don't know, for like Xbox and well, PlayStation is like I can't get people to play multiplayer on that. That's like a non-issue. And then it's, I used to have a lot more people like come to my place, like when I was at my mom's, for example, and like we go ahead and we play a game, and like I organized that. Like I was, especially like 2011, 2012, I was organizing a bunch of different like gaming sessions of like, okay, I've set up like Pac-Man versus, we're using the GameCube and like the GBA connector, whatnot, or like here's like Ultimate Chicken Horse. I'll get my laptop and HDMI it up to the computer so people can get the Xbox 360 adapter and whatnot, and get the controllers set up and all that. Like I hosted that, and so it kind of made more sense for like multiplayer games like to be on the consoles or the PC there for like local. Whereas nowadays I rarely have people over, and um, we're not playing multiplayer games. So having my Xbox or PlayStation like actually prioritize, oh, this local multiplayer experience doesn't make sense. Whereas the Switch, it can, because I can just bring it to a place where we do it. Um, makes a lot more sense for caring about keeping those multiplayer experiences, so I can redo them. That's why I have a lot of multiplayer games on the like purchased on Switch compared to other platforms. I still have like online multiplayer. That's a different story. Because that one also requires buy-in from other people. Um, during the second half of the 2010s, like I was doing a lot of Jackbox, and like that only requires me to do it. So that's a comparable model to local, whereas online is like everyone's already kind of bought in. So that kind of determines like the worthwhileness of like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this game because my friends already have it, or we're buying it because we're looking forward to it, or it's on the sale right now. That's at the price that we want to do it at. I've had some games where like, oh, I played on Game Pass, enjoyed it. It's off of Game Pass, and I still bought it so I can continue doing multiplayer. And that's sometimes been hit or miss in terms of, are that other people actually interested in multiplayer? Um, and so, um, kind of, I guess, to wrap around with why I did enough physical on Switch, it's just the deals. Like Kijiji hunting is really fun, or even like the shit I did at GameStop was like, it feels good to get a good deal. And also, I kind of, it's almost like curating your own thing when there's only one choice, whereas like Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation are kind of almost interchangeable. Of like, it'll be on something there at some point for a good enough thing. I don't have to worry about it. Whereas Switch is like, I kind of, it's only there. The things I'm worrying about. So I need to make it more meaningful. And I'll say having the physical games of like a kind of a almost a selective library. Um, that's kind of helped almost reinforce that. Um, and yeah, I think that I'm happy that I've did switch physical. That being said, if Nintendo actually offered fucking deals, I'd switch to digital like pretty quick. Like, it's just because, okay, let me see what the benefits, like, if it's more convenient to buy on digital on Switch than I would, but it's really not. Um, yeah.
And let's meet up in another 6-7 years.
All right, thanks, guys. And thank you for watching.
Okay. Cool. I don't know. Like Switch 2, I don't think, again, Switch 1 I wasn't actually gonna get for myself. I was given a Switch as a gift, and then the OLED had just come out, so I kind of bought the OLED for myself in response. Um I'm not, that's the thing, I'm not rushing to play any of the Nintendo games, especially at their current prices. So it is really if it's at this deal price, is this something that I think is worthwhile? With a couple exceptions. I'll say the three most meaningful Switch games I have physical are um, Splatoon 2, Clubhouse games, and um, Pokemon Legends ZA. I think like the Mario parties, for example, are also like very worthwhile, but I've done Mario Party like 2 online and other stuff before, and I can get a similar, you can dolphin and a bunch of other stuff. It's like it's nice to have it, but it's not the end of the world if I didn't. But yeah, I'd say if I'm going through an entire game catalog and those are the only three that I was like, oh, I'd really want the system for. Um, Whereas the other consoles is like I kind of have such a funnel of games where it's much easier to justify because of these subscription services. It does make me think about if what will justify me getting a Switch 2 going forward. Because if the service isn't there, then there has to be enough meaningful games on like based on what because I can fall into meaningful games via services like free Epic Games, for example, right? That's how I fell in love with Death Stranding because it was free on Epic. But yeah, it does mean that I do appreciate it a bit more for Switch, but it is such a high barrier that it's definitely the exception and not the norm for me going forward. The norm is definitely the streaming service, and I'm happy enough with that norm. I think there's a ton of advantages. Like I said with the YouTube movies, that's going to be the exception, not the norm for buying something that's like that because it really has to hit a high bar for me to want to own it. Whereas I think for these people, they really the collecting aspect is much stronger for them. I'm definitely not a I'm very much a minimalism. I try to be a minimalism person in terms of my belongings or how I um just use um like kind of use space almost. Like for example, on my Wii U, like I was committed to not using external hard drive because I couldn't I could put in a USB and whatnot, but like it's kind of almost justifying that. Um, it's like I feel like anything that I want, I could probably get onto the 32 gigs. Um, and same thing with like my Quest one. It's like anything I kind of need, which I should plug in after. I can get working on this. Yeah. So we are fucking 2 hours and 27 minutes into a 30-minute video, and I'm going to end this off. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, especially Rasterman, for chatting, and hope you enjoyed this. And I don't know when my next stream is going to be, but if you want updates on that, check out the Twitch or the YouTube. And this was a fun time. Yeah. Until next time, peace. Try to poopy.